Let's take a look at the day part scheduler. We have three schedulers: the generic, the number per day of week, and the day part. We're going to go to that screen by going through contracts. You cannot get there by going through spots. So if you're using the day part scheduler, avoid going to the spot screen through spots on the main menu. Do it through the contract selection. Here I have a contract set up to run these spots, and I'm going to click on the spots button. Notice I have the check mark for day part scheduler, and I'm going to click spots, and there we see a blank screen laid out a little differently than the other schedulers. First thing I do is I click add, and since this contract has been accepted, it alerts me that what I'm going to do will essentially change the contract. Now it's looking for a spot type, and I'm going to hit the letter U because I have underwriter in there, and that's the one I'm going to use. The next thing is BELTZ, name of the spot. You can put any name you want in there, but I just use the name of the client. Some things that are not yet implemented in the day part scheduler: there is no copy attached to the spots, and no copy attached, therefore, to the affidavit. So do not put copy in here. If you have to have that, then use either of the other two schedulers. Also, minutes between spots is not implemented, and the location in an avail is not working. Client type is, so we will choose a client type. This happens to be an attorney. I double click it, puts the attorney as the client type, and the optional area, I have attorney there. That simply means this spot will stay out of the same break if there is another attorney already scheduled there, and the next time I schedule an attorney, it will avoid this spot. Even if I don't select type to avoid in the other one, all you need is one of the two spots to have a type to avoid. When you're scheduling station promos, you may choose not to put anything for types to avoid, since it's okay with you if you have a couple of station promos in the same break. So I save that. I come back to this screen, and I'm going to leave the start date as it is and change the end date. I'll just click in there, use the asterisk. These are a number of keyboard shortcuts for date fields, which are in the documentation and in the help files. I'm just going to hit it about 5 times, and that will move it up to the 11th of April for next year. Source is whatever you want to put on the log, or you may use that for your automation system as a cart number. So I'm going to put a number in there that would possibly work with the cart. Every question mark weeks, I have a 1. That means it'll schedule every week. If I put a 2, it would schedule every other week. 3 means it'll schedule every third week. That is, it'll schedule a week and then leave 2 weeks empty and then schedule a 4th, and so forth. The only thing about that is the quantity over here is going to be calculated based upon the start and end date and whatever numbers it finds down here in these day parts. If you schedule anything higher than a 1, though, that means that the quantity really will be in error, since it calculates only based on every week. So that's another area that at some point we'll get that working. Since you can't edit this field, whatever number you put in there will be overridden when you click save. This spot will always appear if you have every week set for 2 or higher, as though it isn't fully scheduled. But that's something you can work around. Spot length is required. I'll put a 15 in there. And then we come to either setting a rate or setting a price. Whatever rate you put in will be multiplied by the quantity, and that'll be the price. Or if you choose to put a check mark over here for fixed price, you can put in a price for the total schedule and it will then calculate the rate. So you can do it either way. We'll just put in a number there, and we will see a price after we click on Save when it will do the calculation. Now across the top here you see I have 9 day parts. These were loaded from the setup area where I entered in a previous lesson the day parts for scheduling spots. When you get to this screen, it'll load those day parts. You do have the opportunity to change any of these day parts if you like, but there is a caution that you may wipe out some of the day parts and have to start over if you, for example, put 2 day parts starting at midnight, and whichever is at the left, or I mean at the right, will cancel out the one at the left. So just using the day parts we have now for this example, I'm going to schedule a spot in morning and afternoon drive, and I'll vary the number per day. Put a 1 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, and 1 on Friday. Then I'll do the reverse on the afternoon drive. Monday I'll put 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2. Sounds like an exercise program. Okay, so now I've got Monday through Friday, 3 per day, except they're divided up between the morning and the afternoon drive. So when I click on Save, it calculates that 354 spots are going to be scheduled between 10:28 and 4:11, and they will be allocated in the time that it says there. All right, all that's necessary now is to click on the Setup Schedule, and away it goes. Now it's going to load all of the avails for the first day part, the 5 to 9, and then it'll run through the scheduler and put those into the schedule, and it brings me the schedule here, and it shows the quantity 165, and the scheduled number is 165. So it found places for all of those, and you can scroll up and down the top window and see where it has placed them. You can click on the print button and print to the screen or to the printer the complete 165 positions of this spot. Now, were I interested in making some changes, I can do that. I can go up and down this window, double-click on any of these, and it will take them out of the proposed schedule and put them down here in the Avails window. The number scheduled will decrease as I do that. Then I can come down into the Avails and find what I would prefer and double-click on them and put them back into the top. Now when you see a B over here, it simply means that this is a full avail, and if I try to use it for this schedule, it will have to bump something out, and that something happens to be, watch this, I've selected that, I go over here, I click on the I, and there it is. There's a 30-second spot in that break, and the avail only holds a length of 30 seconds. So even though it is set for 2 spots of a total of 30 seconds, once it has one 30-second in, then it is full. So if I were to bring that up to the top window because I wanted to use that on the second instead of what is up there, then it would, when I click confirm, it's going to bump out that earlier spot and put this one in its place. Well, I'm just going to leave it alone and go ahead and confirm. Now when I confirm, it's going to load the next set of avails for the second day part, the afternoon drive, and then it'll run through the scheduler to find places for that spot and bring me to the proposed schedule screen. And there it is. And here, once again, are all the places that it put the spot. 189 was the quantity, 189 was the result. And here's something new, a T in the margin. So if, and that simply means a type to avoid. So if I click on here and click over here on the I, and I'll see that there is already from a previous scheduling the spot that I am now scheduling that is in there. So obviously that would make no sense to bump that out, and I don't need to. I've got all of the positions that I do need. So I'm going to click confirm, and it takes us right back to this window, and here I have 354 requested and 354 are scheduled. Quantity aired is 0 after each log is reconciled, which is the way you tell RadioWorks what actually did happen on the air, what was aired, and any corrections such as spots that didn't get on the air, you can delete them from the reconcile window, or spots that did air but weren't in the original scheduling, you can add them in at that time, or if they were at a different time, you can put them in or edit the time to the correct time that it actually aired. So once reconciliation is done, usually on a daily or weekly basis, then you will see the quantity scheduled decrease and the quantity aired increase, so that by the end of the date range, 411, you will see the quantity over here, quantity scheduled, down to 0, and the quantity aired would be 354. So RadioWorks will always be checking these two numbers, the number of spots scheduled, the number aired. They both should add up to 354 at all times. If they don't, it will let you know, and you'll see that way down here at the bottom of the screen. Whenever you start up RadioWorks, it says spot 0. That means there are no schedules out of balance. So that's a good thing to always notice. So that's how you use the day part scheduler, and one of the advantages over the other schedulers that may require several different screens to get the same job done. When you click on the word scheduled, if you see it right over here just above the first day part, there you have the entire schedule, everything put together. Remember, we were going back and forth and in the two different drive times, so you see that we ended up with 3 every day, but alternating between the AM and the PM, the drive time. You can also print this if you like, and I'm just going to print it to the screen so you can see that. And so there's 354 here. In fact, we go to the very last page. There it is, 354, and it'll tell you exactly when these spots are going to be on the air. You can always go to this sheet. As you reconcile logs, it will be a shorter and shorter report because it's simply showing what is still in logs that have yet to be reconciled. So we close that out and close that, and we are done with that scheduler. And we see over here you've got the 2 schedules and all set up.